Secret Lair, the Sonic Super Drop, has 3 drops that are part of it. The first one you see here has mechanically unique characters created just for this drop. 7 new legendary creatures. It's impossible to assign a value to this one because these cards didn't exist previously, but these cards didn't exist previously. That one sells for 40 and 50, so they've upped the price of the mechanically unique cards, but we've also got Sonic Turbo Gear here, which is selling for 30 and 40 that we would typically expect from a Secret Lair, and it's got about $36 of value in it, covered mostly between the Reaver Cleaver as Knuckles gloves and Hammer of Nazan as Pico Pico Hammer. The other layer that's part of the drop is Secret Lair X Sonic Chasing Adventure, and this one has very little value to it, only about $13 worth of cards in this $30 or $40 Secret Lair, but it does contain the Soul Ring that you see coming into the picture right now, and if you're building one of those mechanically unique commanders, you're probably going to want that Soul Ring. Those are the values of the Secret Lairs as they stand. I want to go through each of them individually and tell you what I think of the cards and whether or not I think they're great pickups or not. Joel R. Magic is brought to you by Card Conduit, the best place to sell your cards quickly and easily on the internet. TCG Player, the best place to buy them. Dragon Shield, the best way to protect them. And Moxfield, the only place to put your deck lists on the internet. Secret Lair X Sonic Friends and Foes starts off with Super State. All 7 of the cards in Friends and Foes are mechanically unique. That means they've never been printed before. They're not reskins, they're not reprints. These are straight up brand new cards. That means the only way to get these is going to be the Secret Lair. So if we look at value in these, they don't have any value because these cards have never existed, but they do have value because these cards have never existed. This is going to be the only place that you can buy these past the secondary market. The non-foil copies are going to be at some WPN stores. It's one of those types of drops that there will be a little bit more supply, but going into this, it's just tough to say, oh, this drop is worth X dollars because they've never existed. However, the cards in them are very strong. Super State is a 7-mana legendary aura enchant creature you control. Enchanted creature has base power and toughness 9/9 and has flying, first strike, trample, and haste. Whenever enchanted creature deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent. I'm looking at commanders, obviously, that want to attack. Voltron, Aura decks immediately want this. Any deck that's running Ketis, stuff like that, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be wanted in a few different archetypes. You've also got Knuckles here, 2 red, 2 other for a 2/4 double striking trampling haste. It says whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. So we've got a legendary version of Professional Facebreaker. We can play this out of the command zone. That's pretty sweet. And also says at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 30 or more artifacts, you win the game. That's kind of cool. We've seen that on a dragon before. It's maybe going to win you a game here and there, but the more impactful part here is going to be a creature that allows you to create treasure tokens when you're dealing combat damage. I also really like Amy Rose. I just built Cloud, and I think this card is going to go right into Cloud decks because growing Cloud's power by 3 is pretty incredible for that deck's payoffs. Amy Rose is a white, a red, and 2 for a 3/3 with haste. Whenever Amy Rose attacks, attach up to 1 target equipment to her, already in line with that, and great in equipment decks, obviously. Then up to 1 other target attacking creature gets +X/+O, where X is Amy's power. That is what I'm interested in here, attacking alongside Cloud, automatically giving that +3 ability. Pretty funny to have Amy Rose and Cloud in the same deck anyway. Then we've got Dr. Eggman here, Grixis, a red, a black, a blue, and 2 for a 3/6 that flies. Says at the beginning of your end step, I like that you get the payoff immediately and don't have to wait till your next upkeep. Draw a card. Then each opponent faces a villainous choice. They either discard a card, or you can put a construct, robot, or vehicle from your hand straight onto the battlefield. Interesting build around here, maybe good in Grixis vehicles decks that we've already seen. Miles, Tails, Prower, a blue, a white, and 1 for a 3/1 with flash and flying. Whenever a vehicle you control enters, draw a card if it has flying. Otherwise, put a flying counter on it. Automatically goes into every vehicle deck that is blue and white color identity at the very least. Right? Maybe not the best out of the command zone, but automatically a 99 piece in vehicles. Then you've got your 2 mains here, Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog. Shadow's a black, black, red, red 4/2 mercenary with haste. It says whenever Shadow or another creature you control with Flash or Haste dies, draw a card. And then the relevant piece here that's got everybody freaking out over this card. Each spell you cast has split second if mana from an artifact was spent to cast it. That means as long as it's on the stack, players can't cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. The stack stops. Nobody else can counter anything, can play anything. No other anything, even activated abilities, are going onto the stack once we've got something with split second on top of it. That's got a lot of ramifications competitively, especially. CEDH players are already significantly brewing around this card. I'm interested to see where this one goes, but I think a lot of the interest is lying around Shadow the Hedgehog right now. But that's not to say that there's nothing to be said about Sonic the Hedgehog, a white, a red, a blue, and 1 for a 2/4 with haste. Scott, whenever Sonic the Hedgehog attacks, put a +1 counter on each creature you control with Flash or Haste. Pretty cool ability there. And whenever a creature you control with Flash or Haste is dealt damage, create a tapped treasure token. Very flavorful there. If you got hit in Sonic the game, you sprouted all of your rings out, all of your treasure rings out. So overall, a very strong drop in my opinion. There will also be a secret card, and very frequently with these IP crossover secret cards, they are also of the IP. And so maybe another playable exclusive in there, possibly a reprint though, since we're not going to get to see it in advance. You would think maybe they're not going to print a mechanically unique card as the secret card. This one is a buy for me. I want to build and try out Shadow the Hedgehog. I like all of these legends. I think Knuckle is going to go into Hada. Super State definitely has a home somewhere. And like I said, Amy Rose is going into my Cloud Sword deck, my Cloud deck immediately. And I'll find homes for Sonic and Miles whenever I build a vehicle deck there with Miles maybe. Then you've got Turbo Gear. This one actually has some reprint value to it. $36 of reprint value to be exact. Mostly with the Reaver Cleaver as Knuckles' gloves. This one was only printed in Dominaria United Commander. The extended was in the collector boosters of that set, and the list. And then most recently, it was in Modern Horizons 3 Commander in the Dissa Lurgoyf's deck. The Reaver Cleaver's only got, I would say, like 2 real reprints. The Dominaria United Commander when it was first printed, I should say, and then the Modern Horizons 3 Commander where it was significantly reprinted. Around $13 for that card though. You've also got Hammer of Nazan down here, which is pretty interesting as Egg Hammer. This one's like $15, and notably this is the very first new art for Hammer of Nazan. The original one was in Commander 2017 in the Cats deck. This also has a companion card, Nazan Revered Bladesmith, not in this drop. Possibly the secret card, but also one to keep your eyes on, because honestly, if people are getting Hammer of Nazan for the first time and they go, oh, there's a creature that directly tutors this right up. Okay, I like that creature. I will run it alongside my Hammer of Nazan. $15 around there for the price on this one. $25 for the etched. That's like probably somewhere in there. This one's going to fall the Pico Hammer version, I should say. But I would keep an eye out for Nazan Revered Bladesmith, see if that maybe pops up in a secret card. Sonic fans can let me know if there's a card that would work well as a reskin for the Cat Bladesmith that'll go get your Hammer of Nazan. But it being only a 2017 card, Commander 2017 card, means it's very scarce. Very cool card to look at right now, and only about $1 or $2 currently as I'm making this video for the Nazan cat that searches this up. Past that, you've got Swiftfoot boots in here as air shoes. That's like $1. This is the first true secret layer Swiftfoot boots. I think that's pretty interesting. We had the Invention secret layer inclusion as a secret card a few years back. Those are like $30. There was a Year of the Rabbit promo around $15 of Swiftfoot boots, and so somewhere in there for price eventually on this one maybe. You've also got Mere Battlesphere here as Egg Hammer. This card is super cheap, so cheap. It's like 50 cents, but this is literally the first new art for this card ever in any version whatsoever. We've only ever had one art for Mere Battlesphere, so this gives you a second choice, kind of, I guess. Also includes the Mere token as the egg pawn to go alongside it, so those will be moving together if they get moved or sold or traded or whatever, I would imagine. You've also got Lightning Greaves here as power sneakers. Interesting, we've got Swiftfoot boots and Lightning Greaves both in this one drop. Really good to pick up alongside some of the other commanders. You can kind of see how they're pointing to you and saying, hey, look, This would work really well with Dr. Robotnik, Eggman. This would work really well, obviously, with Knuckles. These would work well with Sonic. These would work well with Shadow. This would work well with Amy. This would work well with Tails, right? Like, see what they're doing here? Lightning Greaves has so many copies, so many versions to choose from at this point, but it stays around $5 for base copies of this card because it is such a playable card. The 2XM version of Lightning Greaves is around 20 bucks. There's a Dog Secret Lair version around 27 bucks. The Invention Lightning Greaves is around $230. So I don't think this card is going to be $230 in foil, but mid-20s, mid-30s, I could see that. That would actually be a possibility long-term, in my opinion. Then you've got Weatherlight here as Tornado, Sonic's biplane. It's like $1. It's like $5 for the Dominaria pre-release stamped promo version of Weatherlight. I'm least excited about this card in here, but it'll look cool in a notebook, I guess. All in all, about $36 worth of value for a $30 or $40 Lair. Remember, if you're getting these to like hold on to and sell later on the secondary market, just go with foils. Don't worry with the non-foils. The foils are the ones that are going to grow. They're the only ones worth your time if that's your entire goal. So if you're like grabbing an extra copy of these to flip later and have your Sonic Lair for free eventually, make sure you pick up foil copies of those because those, in my experience, are the ones that pop off. We've also got the Chasing Adventure Lair. Now, this one is the least hyped, meaning it's probably going to be the least purchased, but we'll see. The cards in here are the least exciting. You've only got about $13 worth of value on a $30 and $40 Lair here. Generous Gift is around $1 card. There is a $30 version of Generous Gift that's from Secret Lair Perfection. It was an online PulseCon exclusive in 2021. One of those types of things, you know, when we weren't back to going around and being around each other yet, they had online things. Those would be those region locked, you know, con exclusives. You can only get this in Chicago or Vegas, etc. That is kind of what happened in 2021 and why we have a $30 version of Generous Gift. Open the Armory is a $2 card. There's never been a special version of it. This is the first special version of Open the Armory. So players like Damien who don't want base copies in their decks are definitely going to look at this one and go, all right, well, I guess I'm running that Open the Armory. Fabricate is around a $7 card here with Tails on it. It's been around since 2003 in Mirrodin. It's been a special guest in Murders at Karlov Manor around 12 bucks. It's been a Secret Lair Transformer around 16 bucks right now. And it's also been in another SLD Secret Lair that is currently an $11 copy. So Fabricate tends to hold about twice what it's worth, around $7, you know, depending on the treatment and how much people want Tails on their Fabricate. You've also got Deadly Dispute. Now, we just had this one in the Frank Frazetta SLD. That one's like $7 right now, but highly playable card. People are going to want the one with Shadow on it. That one's going to hold a premium. Unexpected Windfall. This is the first SLD special version. The Surge from Fallout is $17, and this is like $1 or less card. This is a nothing value card, but that Surge from Fallout being $17 shows you that the market is like, I really want a special unexpected Windfall. My name's Damien, and I have to have special cards only. Unexpected Windfall here, I think, is going to hold way more of a premium than $1, which is what the card's worth, obviously. I would assume that the Surge from Fallout is going to fall as being the not most preferred, and then maybe this will take that spot of that like $20 version of Unexpected Windfall, you know, long term. Then you've also got the Soul Ring and the Treasure Token. Now, Soul Ring, I think this is a gorgeous card. I'm really into this Soul Ring. I'm not particularly a Sonic fan. I do have good memories of playing Sonic growing up, but it was never a franchise that I was like ravenous over. However, this Soul Ring to me is very beautiful. I think this card in foil is going to look super sick. And if we're building one of the Sonic Commanders, this is the Soul Ring I want anyway. So I'm definitely going to end up picking up all three of these, meaning I'm buying this one for sure. And then the Treasure Token. I think that this Treasure Token has a little bit of potential. I saw somebody post about this on the MTG Finance subreddit, and I tend to agree with them. People are going to want multiple of these, and if this is only coming with one, these treasure tokens might be a little more in demand, especially in foil. So overall, $13 worth of value on Chasing Adventure there on a 30 or 40 Lair. That's the values of these. As you can tell, I'm pretty high on these. I'm going to buy all three of them in foil. That's my plan with these. Let me know what your plan is for the Secret Lair Sonic Super Drop. If I provided you any value at all, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you've already done that. Leave me a comment, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye!